You call that radio, more like a TV show, TV show. On almost every night. It's gonna be streaming live.
If you can, donate the price of a gig ticket to paypal.me/you call that radio, or go to patreon.com/you call that radio. I believe that we have the Creative Martyrs ready to go. We do.
You call that radio. You call that radio TV.
All right, cool.
This new spiritual science. Sit in the circle, but don't quite touch fingertips. A full moon is in the sky. It's the perfect night for us to try and align our psychic energies and contact the dead. So close your eyes and concentrate, and we shall try to communicate with those who have passed on to the other side. Is there anybody out there? Is there anything to be said? Oh, Spirit, won't you give us a message from the dead? From the dead. Dog barks in the distance. A spirit must be near. alert all your senses. I'm sure there's someone here. We think that we can hear you. We think that we can feel you. Knock once for yes and twice for no. Please speak with us. Oh, please don't go. Is there anybody out there? Is there anything to be said? Oh, Spirit, won't you bring us a message from the dead? From the
What have you done with 2020?
Good hello afternoon, all you scary individuals out there. In a year where everything has become horrible, it's been difficult to know where the split, the balance between harmless Halloween rhetoric and reality. It doesn't really come as much of a surprise, though. We've been expecting the end of the world for a while. Didn't want to choke on the pollution. Didn't want to fry in radiation. Didn't want a war with giant explosions. Didn't want to be swallowed by the oceans. Didn't want some global epidemic. Didn't want uncontrollable genetic. Didn't want some solar intervention. Didn't want but when it stops too much, we're where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. Where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. Didn't want a giant meteor from space. Didn't want to meet an aggressive alien race. Didn't want grumpy sentient robots. Didn't want rampant cannibal sexpots. We didn't want to see the end of the world. But when it happened, there was just one way we hoped it might unfurl. Where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. Where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. And the zombies go, "Ah!" Experience the thrill of the chase. Wanted to find our own little hiding place. Wanted to look them in the eye as we take a bite from our thigh. Where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. Where are all the zombies? All we want are zombies. We were promised zombies in the end. Don't forget the arms this time. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, those of you not so assigned.
This is social distancing. Yes, we're not allowed to be apart, or more than 2 meters.
These are haunting times. Things forgotten, things remembered, lessons learned from history.
It's a long way from Weimar to here, a long way from Weimar to here. Here we are, exactly the century. Some say comparisons are clear. It's It's a long way from Weimar to here, a long way from Weimar to here. We reap the rewards of ignorant sophistry, democracy died with a cheer. You've heard all of the rhetoric, so make what you will of it. From the Third Reich to Trump and Brexit, we'll fix it with our cabaret. We will pour all of our ire into exquisite satire. We will expose all the lies. We will put out all the fire. It's a long way from here to Weimar. It's not a long way from here to Weimar. As the progress of the decades is turned on its head, we thought progress had come too far to be dead. It's not a long way from Weimar to here. It's not a long way from Weimar to here. The people have spoken, the experts are broken, and now the new normal is here. Here. Let us not say that there has been no warning for the present horrors, of which Halloween is a nice distraction from. Oh, if only all we had to worry about was haunted houses. Instead, we are being haunted by the decisions of the near past, and haunted by the ghosts of ourselves from the near future, haunted by the thought of what could have been, and haunted by the thought of what actually is.
Strange times.
Interesting time.
Funny times.
Caring time?
Changing times.
Lovely time.
Dynamic times.
Changing time.
Opportunity times.
Dreams and nightmares come true time.
Terrifying times.
Right-wing time.
Fearful times.
Even if they lose, right-wing time.
Authoritarian times.
We don't like to say we told you so times.
Time.
Times.
This is not theatrical. This is not metaphysical. This is actually happening. This is not theoretical. This is not hypocritical. This is actually happening. This is not heretical. This is not theoretical. This is actually happening.
Times. Loving times.
These
Right.
are not normal. There is no normal. There'll be no normal. There was no normal. There is no normal. There will be no normal. You are not normal. They are not normal. It is not normal. They are not normal. I am not normal. He is not normal. It is not normal. These are not normal times. No time is normal, and there will be no normal to go back to. Times, despite good intention. Times, changing times, dynamic times. Times are changing. They have changed. The balance has tipped. The time has passed, and we're only catching up with the facts now. So as we sway between the supernatural and the terrifying spirits of the day, it's terrifying that we delve into the psychology of these very ghosts and zombies who walk our streets every day, only partially there or only there in body. But don't worry, as long as we're all trying to do the good thing, then it'll be fine. Good intentions, but short attention. We thought we had perspective, misplaced empathy, accused apathy. We preached to the converted. We thought we knew there's no ignorance. We blamed the mass, they blamed the immigrants, but no one understood, and everyone played their part. Put us on a path we've seen before. Hindsight, prescience, social arrogance. We couldn't admit it to ourselves. So much talking, so little action. We convinced ourselves we went through. We all bear our cross, applaud our efforts. Who could really say they did enough? We need to choose a side of the wall to get strung up against. We thought progress was our moral realm, but it's one step forward and no way back. Marching left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 right. We've seen progress many times before. Our certain rhetoric and pathways to war. The shits make a killing while the rest get increasingly poor. And those at the bottom, well, they still get ignored. We'd like to pretend that nothing was wrong as we beat out progress on our sanctimonious drum. I'm acting left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 right. We thought progress was our form to dictate, but there's plenty of happy people out there tonight. Marching left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 right. Ladies, gentlemen, those of you not so titled, there really isn't so much call for dancing of late. And well, that generally means that there really is a need for it. But to switch from dancing to politics, and they're not always so far apart. Has anybody heard of the Overton window? Oh, it offers wonderful insight to the happenings of the last few years and the intentions of the next. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those of you not so signed, we all know the spectrum that runs all the way from left to right, from extreme to moderation, to center ground and out through moderation and extreme on the other side. This is a spectrum of politics. The Overton window is a frame one can place over this spectrum of politics to provide you with a new and relative center ground. Oh yes, indeedy. We have this little inkling that this center ground is relatively and currently moving a little to the right. right. And well, as we can't be all together to do this, we might as well do it from the comfort of our own homes. Yes, because you need to dance, it's important to dance, and well, we'd like to test this hypothesis through the medium of line dancing. Well, on your feet, yes, rise up. And it's one step forward and you turn right around. 2 steps backward and kick your heels down and kick. I'll kick, I'll kick, I'll kick. Step to the right, step to the right, step to the right, step to the right. And it's 1 step forward and you turn right around. 2 steps backward and kick your heels down and I'll kick, I'll kick, I'll kick. Step to the right, step to the right, step to the right, step to the right, step the right, step to the right, step to the right, step to the right, to the right, 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 right. And a strange thing happens when everything starts moving to the right. First off, those on the right of the right think they have a right to take the right further to the right. And unfortunately, if they persuaded most on the left that the right is actually the left, and the left is actually wrong, and the right is somewhere in the middle, and everybody could be happy if everybody just leaned a little further to the right. Nobody knows what's right anymore, and nobody knows what's wrong, and nobody knows what's left, but we're all going right. We've been going right for a long time, and it's so wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Those left on the left are wondering what's left, and those on the right, well, are thinking we can go a little further. To the right, 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 right.
Line dancing is a sin.
Get those jackboots stomping, ladies, gentlemen, and those of you not so aside.
If there's no militias on the streets, then everything is fine.
If we can still get out to the supermarkets, then everything's fine.
If we can still welcome people to our shores, the kind of people who might help us in times of sickness and need, then we are doing fine.
And if all those other wonderful countries who are not doing as well as us, well, if we consider them safe enough to allow our citizens to go to them, well, we're doing fine. Because despite all of this, ladies and gentlemen, those of you not so assigned, it is your right, your duty to have a holiday. It keeps the economy going, it does. And while we must be aware of the mental strictures and stresses of all that goes on at the moment, it is your right to step away and to turn your mind from all of these things. Even the stresses and the terror of Halloween itself, and I'm sure it's been a very stressful and terrifying day, from its eerie, creepy morning to its awkward and pained afternoon to the terrifying joys that await you later. But to have a little break from all of the horror, I think it's only our duty, so as you don't get too anxious or stressed, it's our duty to take you somewhere else, something lighter, something brighter, more optimistic maybe. That holiday, Gustav.
Oh, yes. I did not even know what the word meant until very recently. I was very excited by the idea.
That holiday, maybe somewhere warm.
Oh, warm. It's been a long time since we experienced that upon our faces.
Bright and sunshiny.
Sunshine. Not like at basement bars we're used to occupying.
What about Gustav, a beach maybe?
beach.
A beach.
A sandy
Marvellous.
beach.
Can you imagine yourselves a beach? Can you imagine yourselves on a nice, warm, sunny beach, ladies and gentlemen, those who've not subscribed? Maybe not even on the beach. Maybe off the shore in a little lilo or a rubber dinghy, just your hand trailing on the water, the sun beating down on you, the salt air blowing across. Oh, it's blissful. Rocking back and forth and back and forth.
Once there was a boy aged 3 who got in a boat with his family. They set sail on a big blue sea to see what they could see at sea. He was excited, a little afraid. This was no holiday. He'd seen war and poverty. He was a tiny little refugee.
A refugee, you say? Probably coming over here to steal all our jobs.
But there are no 3-year-olds in this country with jobs.
Precisely! All the foreign 3-year-olds have taken them all!
After many days, he spied land. He stretched out his little hand, but oh, he could not quite reach the lovely sandy tourist beach. He dipped in, tried to swim. The water felt nice on his skin. He gave a little cry, hardly a sound. Then this little boy drowned. It took the death of a boy aged 3 to make the world feel sympathy. And all those in democracy said we must make room for the refugee. When this boy died in the sea, he made a wave of empathy. And all those in society said we must make room for the refugee.
Bum, bum, bum,
Bum, bum, bum.
bum, 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 bum,
Bum, bum, bum.
bum, bum, bum,
A soldier carried him ashore, all but for a few lengths more. And of the scene a picture was took, sent on the world for all to look at. Everybody stared, everybody cared, all declared their moral outrage. Everybody stared, all declared they'd open up their hearts. Then many, 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 many more boats came, crowding the seas, more of the same. And many, many, many more died. Over time, less people cried. In some places there was disquiet. Skirmishes a little right. There's only so many that we can take. Surely most of them are fake. When millions crossed the big blue sea, the tide went out on sympathy. And all those in democracy said there's only so much room for the refugee. When millions crossed the big blue sea, the tide went out on empathy. And all those in society said there's only so much room for the refugees. Yes, we know you can see empty lands lying free.
empty
You
lands
don't
are
know, you
lying
can't
free,
see,
but
minds are
not
too small for the refugee. Yes, we know you can see empty lands lying free. But
Empty
you don't
lands
know,
are
you
lying
can't see,
free, but
minds are
not
too small
for
for the
the
refugee.
Bum, bum, bum,
Ba-dum, bum, bum.
bum, 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 bum,
Ba-dum, bum, bum.
bum,
And what of this boy aged 3? The one who sailed the big blue sea. His star shone bright, his star shone to fame. But can anyone remember his name?
I believe it was Alan Kurdi. But we needed to look that up too, and to be honest, there's been so many names added to that list since. Our government is like a haunted house full of ghouls and transparent motives, slowly haunting the corridors of the Gothic buildings. Gustav has seen firsthand some of the most terrifying apparitions, some of the most disgusting, twisted, mortal beings to ever exist, slide and crawl and slither around the rooms and that place as their bones crack within inside their fleshy dust bags. And in good name of all guillotines, we're being cut. So we won't tell you about the hauntings of the houses, because the haunting of the soul is much funnier. And then we'll still try and squeeze in the end of the world. Do you think the haunting of the soul?
As in the haunted house or
The soul.
Ah, soul. There was once a man who, when in his bed, loved to dangle his feet out the end. You'll catch your death, his father always said. Then late one night, after he'd snuffed out his meager candlelight, he saw, to his surprise, his toenails had turned into 10 pale eyes. They stared at him unblinking. He felt his soul slowly sinking. They stared and they stared and they stared all through the night, only disappearing at the dawn of early light. The very next night, those toenail eyes returned, and the night after that also, till finally he said, I have to do. Finally he said, they will have to go. I must chop them off, lop them off, slice and dice. It won't be very nice, it's the only way to be saved. To finish them off with a silver spade, I'll heave and hoe to and fro, from the little finger right up to the big toe. Use a chisel to twist and swivel, break through the bones and cartilage and gristle. His friends tried to calm him down. They said, surely everything is fine. If all they do is stare, then surely they are benign. But later that night, those toenail eyes changed pigment to a blood red hue, most certainly malignant. So he went to a famous sorcerer in town, who perused his toes with an expert's frown. Finally he said, there's only one solution, only one guarantor of absolution. You must chop them off, lop them off, slice and dice. It won't be very nice, it's the only way to be saved. Finish them off with a silver spade. You must use a chisel, twist and swivel, break through the bones and cartilage and gristle. Yes, heave and hoe to and fro, from the little finger right up to the big toe. So he drank some whiskey and chopped those toes right off. The blood poured and poured into his father's trough. And once the blood had clotted, he buried them deep in a garden he'd been allotted. Late that night, he smiled as he snuffed out his meager candlelight. But he saw, to his shock and surprise, his disembodied toes and their 10 dark eyes. And those dark eyes grew black tongues, and the eyelids became toenail eyelips. And they spoke unto him and said, you have been found wanting for heinous crimes against toes. You have been judged, and your punishment is as follows. We will
chop you up, lap you up, slice and dice it won't be very nice. It's the only way to be safe. To finish you off with a silver spade, we'll use a chisel to twist and swivel, break through the bones and cartilage and gristle. Yes, heave and ho, to and fro, from your little finger down to your next toes. Yes, heave and ho, to and fro, from your little head down to your next toes. Heave and ho, and heave and ho. You, my friend, will have to go. Cut, 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 cut. We only wanted to play.
Serves him right for not towing the line. I've no idea. No one has told us to cut, and no one has appeared, so maybe
There was an
perhaps
apparition in the window,
was a mask that
drawing its finger across its neck at us. We assume it was not quite so threatening, but they were just drawing us to a close. But now we're terrified.
no one else has seen that person.
Oh, they're back.
They're back.
They've got knives.
They're
They listen.
ghost.
I don't know.
They're going to
Just-
cut, cut,
I
cut,
think-
cut,
I
cut,
think
cut,
they've
cut, yes, cut,
they've
cut, we're being
cut,
cut.
cut. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. We've been the Good Martyrs.
Good night. Call that radio.
Call that radio.
Get back to the people who hate it on me.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad, isn't it?
Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that radio!
Yeah.
And is there a way we can do something like that?
I couldn't help it.
By injection inside or
Yeah, I think so because, or I think just paint in general because I think like my poem is in my painting.
No, cut.
Every time I saw him away on holiday, he was always unhappy and agitating to get back to Bay. And in a way, it maybe wasn't surprising because it was a unique area, and it still is. But something big has gone away from
They're trying to take my voice from me. They're changing the frequency. They change it up so frequently. Subtle psychos secretly. Clearly take what they want from me. Destroying me, trying to poison me. Make me excommunicate. Messing with my trajectory. A voiceless visionary is a lighthouse with no battery or electricity. No light, no nothing built purposely. I can't ring the alarm with any urgency. I'm in purgatory, I botched burglary in the midst of a belligerent insurgency. Please don't make me go back to surgery.
in the background. In the background.
The biggest game of my life was planned for tomorrow. Moving on to you to make this biggest day fall in the background. Come with me, let's find another way. Come with me and find the others, mate. Come with me and find another way. I'm done with this in this monopoly. There must be something otherly. For the lovely Disney turn ugly. They're trying to take my sleep from me. Subtle psychos secretly. Creep in the scenery to leer at me. Sneaky peeking from the greenery. And punish me for my honesty. They're lurking in the forestry. I can see their machinery recording me. Eyes are shiftily avoiding me. They're trying to rewrite my eulogy. I'll be 50 of you.
You call that radio? You call that radio TV?